Welcome to Survival on a Budget Made Easy. In this video, we're talking about what we should have learned from the coronavirus. More on that right after this. Okay, what about Survival on a Budget Made Easy? Like I said, we're going to talk about a few things we should have learned from the coronavirus. One being, I remember years ago, there was a comic book put out by the CDC called "If You Can Survive the Zombie Apocalypse, You Can Survive Anything." A lot of people made fun of it, but people kind of got on board and started preparing for things. They weren't preparing for like an EMF, or I'm sorry, an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, or the government taking everybody's guns. They're basically preparing for everyday things, which you really should do. I mean, people made fun of me talking about the zombie apocalypse, and even after I proved that, hey, the zombie apocalypse here, I mean, you can see it, people just falling in tow. Yeah, okay. And we've seen a lot of that with this coronavirus, people just falling in tow. You know, we have people panicking over hand sanitizer and buying thousands of bottles and being jerks. Had people panicking over toilet paper and being jerks. I've been a little bit of a prepper for a while now, and what I learned from it was I think I might just went a little overboard. People made fun of me when I was buying like 24 rolls of toilet paper at a time. You're only one person. How much toilet paper does one person need? It was like, I want my backside covered in case something happens. So when it came to the toilet paper thing, I was pretty well prepared. You know, um, I'd buy like 24 rolls at a time, then there's the family pack. Then I'd buy another 24 rolls maybe a week or so later. That way I had 2 packs deep. Like green beans, I'd buy 2 cans this week. Uh, Maybe next week buy 2 cans of corn. Just do it a little bit at a time. Didn't get real crazy on it. Buy a case of bottled water one week. Buy another case of bottled water the next week. I had like, oh man, at one point I had like 5 cases of bottled water. Had some MREs. I still have those. Canned goods, soup. I have a bunch of cream of mushroom soup. And I remember people saying, if anything ever happens, we're going to come to your house. I said, you can come, but you're not going to be welcomed. I said, you should be preparing for stuff right now. You shouldn't have to rely on other people that prep to be prepared for you. Well, I just kept going and going and going and going. I ended up giving a lot away, to some people that really needed it before all the coronavirus thing happened. Um, then this happened, and people are like freaking out, man. They were toilet paper and bottled water. I'm like, water is the first thing you should be stocked up on. Okay, that y'all think that through a little bit. Buy a case of water a week. Well, we don't drink a case of water a week. Yeah, but be prepared for the next week and the next week and the next week. And I did that, but I went overboard, man. 5 cases of bottled water. I went a little overboard. People say water's only good for 6 months. Trust me, it's good for a lot longer. Make it the taste of the plastic bottle, but it's still good. Then I was watching like canned goods, like 3 for $1, and I'd buy like you know instead of buying 3, I'd buy like 9. I had a bunch left over. But when this happened, man, people just started freaking out. Over toilet paper, over toilet paper. I had enough to last for a good while. Because I was already prepared. Because every time there's a snowstorm or something, we gotta get bread and milk and toilet paper. Maybe eggs and bananas. But everybody's going for the toilet paper. And it wasn't even that kind of flu, but people wanted it. So I mean, I went for a good while without having to worry about toilet paper. Um, by the time I was in the need for toilet paper, well, the crisis was over. There was toilet paper on the shelves, but people never thought about alternatives like paper towels. Now, okay, everybody's saying you can't flush paper towel down a toilet, and it's a little rough. Yeah, it's a little rough. You can just throw it in a trash can, tie it. I'm sorry, throw it in a trash bag or a plastic bag, tie it shut, throw it out to the trash, burn it, whatever. There's plenty of alternatives to toilet paper. That wasn't shouldn't have been one of the priorities, you know. And water, um, I used to keep I had like 2 gallons of water in the refrigerator, so it was already cold, already ready to go. I know during Hurricane Sandy, we were without power for a little while, and I learned how to take a shower or bath with a half gallon of water. Take half gallon of water and get yourself wet, soap up, take another half, just rinse yourself off. It's no big deal, you learn to live with it. Um, but people are just panicking over the dumbest stuff. Be prepared now. Be prepared for okay. Let's just start with a week. Start with a week. What do we? Okay, if everything shuts down, we need stuff. What do we need to prepare for a week? You know, my biggest mistake was they always say prepare for things. Prep what you use what you prep. Well, I was prepping stuff I used, but I wasn't using everything I prepped. I had a couple items that were like outdated by 2 years. I ended up just throwing out when I moved to Indiana, going through all my stuff. It's like I overdid it. Okay, I went too far, but there's a lot of people just underdid it. Okay, learn how to prep for things. Think before it happens. Now, what's an extra 24 rolls of toilet paper in your house? You got to take up a lot of room. Okay, and think of alternatives to that toilet paper that you can use. Worst comes to worst, use wash rags. Rinse them out, use them again. Okay. Food wise, a couple extra cans of food. People are start going crazy over dog food then too. Well, at least in some areas it were. I'm like, I have a whole bag for Blue Dog that's going to last them well over a month. I mean, think about the little things. You don't have to do a lot of things at once. It's a lot of little things you want to do. Um, Guns and ammo. People are going crazy over guns and ammo. Prices went up. Um, if you're planning on protecting yourself with a firearm, or even considered it, have ammo for it. You know, there's a lot of people that came to the gun community because of this, because of being worried about people trying to steal the toilet paper. But if everybody was prepared, nobody would been worried about it. Um, just simple things, stock up on hand soap, hand sanitizer. From when these yahoos buy 1,000 bottles of them. Be prepared for long waits if you need to go get something. Because I know I was waiting in line to go to Home Depot for stuff. It is what it is. You know, and just don't prepare for like the coronavirus. Think about what's going to happen if the electric goes out for a week. I mean, when Hurricane Sandy went through, man, people lost electric. They're like, "How are we gonna cook our food?" It's like, I'm just gonna go out and fire up the grill. We don't have a grill. Yeah, but you have a fireplace and you have wood. The worst thing I seen was when I was at Walmart and people not thinking about stuff. I'm at Walmart and I was just gonna get a couple loaves of bread, whatever. Whatever happens, happens. I went in and there's just 2 people standing there looking at the section where all the bread is, complaining there's no bread. And I went like this. And right there was the bakery. And from my vantage point, I could see loaves of bread over at the bakery. I've seen rolls over at the bakery. They just had to change their thinking of being, this is the bread aisle, and think, bakery, they bake bread. Imagine that. Yeah, you had to slice it, but you still had bread. So that got me to thinking about the toilet paper. Now, everybody's complaining there ain't no toilet paper. So I just thought, well, I'm going to walk over here to Sporting Goods in the RV section. Because RVs use a different type of toilet paper. It's not my favorite type of toilet paper to use, but it's still toilet paper. And I get to the RV section, there's toilet paper here. Nobody thought about going over to the RV section and getting toilet paper. When things happen, you got to change your mindset instead of going in the same exact path every time. If people would have thought, man, there's a bakery, there's bread, go get bread. Does the RV section have toilet paper? Go to the RV section. I heard of people using coffee filters to wipe the backsides. A little off the deep end in my book. I would have just jumped in the shower and washed off my backside. Well, what if I was at work? Usually your work has toilet paper. And you're stuck at home anyhow. Might as well get an extra shower or two in during the day, which helped, clean off the virus. Because every time I'd go out, as soon as I got home, clothes off, in the shower, wash off. People are worried about these masks. Now, there's a big controversy if they work or not. I didn't wear a mask the whole time. I had like these dust masks, but I know. I was in nursing for 5 years, and I know those things ain't going to work for a virus. But what was nice about them, if people were coughing and not covering their mouths, at least it wasn't going all over the place. But I didn't see much use in it, you know. So I didn't wear one. That's just me. But that's something you want to stock up on too. After all this is over, stock up on things like masks. Bandages, first aid kits. Common sense stuff. Feminine hygiene products, man. You know, those some of those things can be used for stopping blood, and if you get hurt and stuff. So really think about that. Stock up on your dog food. Your cat food, your cat litter. Think of your pets. Because they're gonna have to go through the same situation you are. There's gonna be shortages because nobody thinks until the very last minute. But hopefully, people learn to prepare a little bit better. Hopefully, people like me learn to not prepare as much, keep it more realistic. Because, like I said, I ended up when I got to Indiana after moving out, I moved all this food and stuff. I'm looking at it. It's expired, expired, expired. And I don't trust canned goods after the expiration date. I mean, like the best buy date's like 2 years old. Oh man, I don't trust that. I mean, if it's only a month or so, I don't mind. But 2 years is a long time, so I end up throwing a lot of that stuff away. But hopefully, we all learned something. I know I did. Maybe I went. Oh, I know I went off too deep and after looking back. But at least I was prepared. Okay, enough with the rant. Hopefully, we all learned something from this. Um, and be nice to each other when stuff like this happens. You know, I was going through Walmart. People just sometimes just got nasty with each other over stuff. Just be nice. We're all in this together. Be kind. If you can help somebody out, help them out. Just don't take advantage of the situation. Okay, hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching.